Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We're playing in the Harbinger League as a solo self-found Dark Pact Necromancer. Today, we're gonna run our very first red map. I have a rare Precinct map and I've got a Val Orb. And we're gonna combine them in a second. But first, let's rate them, because if the Val Orb turns this one unidentified, the mods will remain the same. And it is useful to know what they were then. Burning Ground, double exiles, or 2 exiles. We get magic monsters with bloodlines. Monsters fire additional projectiles. Monsters are more accurate and have a chance to avoid poison, blind and bleed. And my dodge chance is unlucky. So I think this is a relatively gentle introduction. The bonus projectiles might be interesting. If I'm remembering this correctly, Precinct is the map with a bunch of rogue exiles as bosses, so there will be plenty of projectiles here. But other than that, this should be gentle enough. So let's see if the Val Orb is gonna help us or whether it's gonna turn us into something else entirely. And all it seemed to do is completely shuffle the mods. Okay, so scratch what we had before. Let's do this again. We get 2 extra rogue exiles. We get more magic monsters with bloodlines mods. We get 2 unique bosses, so that means the boss pack of rogue exiles should be doubled. This is going to be very nice for our unique boss count, and if I'm remembering things correctly. Bosses have increased attack and cast speed and more damage, so that makes them a lot more lethal. We get a Beyond. We get less armor, a reduced block chance, cannot regenerate life, mana or energy shield, and we have a decreased area of effect or less area of effect. We'll have to see whether the last one, the reduced area of effect, is gonna make our Dark Pact small enough that it is gonna be annoying, and that we'll have to swap out concentrated effect for increased area of effect. I've been running the lower tier maps with increased area of effect instead of concentrated effect. And the increased area definitely makes it easy, so you can just clear packs in 1 or 2 shots. But for a tier 11 map, let's start with conc effect. Just go all out, and we can always tone it down a little bit if need be. So let's try this.
Crushed together and fenced in to live out their lives like cattle.
I think this is one of the effects of the Val Orb that will simply turn the map into a rare with all 8 mods intact. Let's see, I think we can level this once more. Yeah, exactly, this is the one. And maybe I should use my Warlord's Mark a little bit more than usual to drain some mana and life from the enemy. Since I can't regenerate it, I need to rely much more on the leech I get from Warlord's Mark than I usually would. Oh, that's a Heat Shiver helmet, I think. I'm gonna approach this cautiously at first, and then we'll just maybe advance a little faster once I get more comfy. But this being Beyond, it means that danger is of course gonna be in all corners. And Haast might pop out of the floor at any instant. So a little caution is normal, and I would say would even be warranted and respectful. And also from the perspective of demons might pop out of the floor anytime, having concentrated effect instead of increased area of effect, it's helpful. It's an interesting combination. Beyond with Harbingers. Harbingers are very nice concentrated minion spawns that always run the risk of just getting a hast or whatever demon in the middle of them. Okay. Ship from Smagoria. Can't take that away from me anymore. Oh, stop spawning things. So, I would have preferred to fight the Harbinger on a square rather than on one of these narrow straits. Simply because then I would have the advantage of AoE rather than having to do hit and run against one or two foes. Oh, there's a Exile. Probably one of the two bonus ones. Well, taking him out rather alright. So far so good then. And take out the obelisks. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, of course, when we get assault ribbons, when we have extra projectiles, that definitely makes them a lot more lethal, because they're already pretty dangerous in their normal state. Let alone when you have extra projectiles to fling at me. And that is another Rogue Exile. Or is that Ravagers? Yeah, it's Ravagers, okay. They are very nice as Spectres as well. At least they're fun to look at as Spectres. I'm not quite sure if they're good for damage or anything, but I quite enjoy the Outcast Ravagers with their Blade Storm or Blade Ring. Fantagiel, hey, you look like a Rogue Exile. You know what? I think you should die. Nothing really personal, but well, you're an exile, I'm an exile, and let's just pretend we're Highlanders or something. Ooh. Ivory Tower, that's a tier 12 that I have never played before, so that's nice. Already, this is a very, very nice run. Okay, yep, just a dead end, nice. I always enjoy it when I found the edges of the map. That means I know I don't have to backtrack anymore. And that I can't get attacked from behind from that direction, which is also rather lovely. Yeah, there's two unexplored edges. Ooh, we can cast over the wall. They have to walk around. That is wonderful. Okay. Now, if the enemies come just at a small trickle at a time, now they're not really that dangerous. And the moment I, of course, speak of not so dangerous, that when demons start popping out from more or less literally underneath me. But it's the Rogue Exiles. That's gonna be the true danger in this map. The boss exiles. Soldier helmets. Let's do the things. What is this one? Honor home. Lower level one. Okay. And earlier that was indeed Heat Shiver. Okay. Dead ends. The bosses here are just out in the open. So you can just more or less run into them. They're probably on the opposite side of the map of where you start. But still. Okay, let's just wake up everything, see if we can summon a demon. And not get killed in the process. Oh, wonderful. Plateau. So some blues. Some fanatics of Fiji with their stormcalls. Let's just pick that one up, just in case. Wonderful. It's nice that the AI of those things is rather short-sighted and they're just gonna focus on them. That's it, we have 2 grappling hooks. So now if you just throw a couple of skeletons in their face, then they're gonna be mostly distracted. That works wonders. Okay. Ice and Ravagers. Don't see anything that's... out of the frozen sky. Yeah, that explains it. Whoa. Hounds of Satosh. Queen spawning things definitely gets us minor demons, but again I suspect there might not be enough here for greater demons. Oh, a Bameth on a +2... oh no, wait, this is no longer the +2 projectiles map, is it? No, okay. Then a Bameth might be more manageable, but Bameth with bonus projectiles, now there is something to be afraid of.
Over here, Exile.
Okay, otherworldly. And Tora, what are you gonna get?
For this hunt, I'm going to share it.
Infected beasts. That means more things to kill. I approve of that. Wow! Wait. Accidentally clicking Tora when you want to run away. Not useful. And we found the bosses, it seems. Yeah, and they're all twinned, right? So you get twinned teleporters. Wonderful. But in this case, I can use that to my advantage. As if there's 2 teleporting dudes, then I can draw them away from the ones that don't teleport. Ooh, and each of them is gonna get us a Val gem. That is useful. Alright. They definitely hurt. I think I want my golem again. Okay. That plan about drawing them out one by one, I think it might need some adjusting. I think this might be the bulk of the battle actually. So, see if we can get them onto the square here. Yep, we got one of them, that's enough, that's enough. Just you and me. And then we get your buddy, sure. That's enough. I think we can do this without the Val summoned skeletons. Keep that one for other fights that might be even more tricky. Okay, that's one down. And then it just becomes easier. Well, remind me not to say things like easier and such again. It's usually both very badly. Alright. I'm gonna play a game of tag, are we? You're it. Okay. So that is the 3rd one down, I believe. And there's a couple more to go. Good thing is killing exiles recharges your flasks at least a little bit. Is this just a dead end? Oh, monsters. Wonderful. Flask charges, I mean. Free flask charges. Ah, Servant of Hast. 100 tush. So, yep, you jump. Cool. That means you draw yourself away from the pack. I approve of that. Wonderful. And down he goes. Wait, not even a... He did not drop me a foul skill. Agostina Solaria. Right. You're ranged, I'm ranged. That's a fair battle then, I suppose. There's two of you now. As there ought to be. I don't like these angles nor this large amount of projectile. And I can't shoot over that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think I got comfy there. The angle of the fight definitely wasn't what I would have liked it to be. But shooting around an angle, couldn't really put the skeletons straight on top of them. So, let's try to do this better. I think we were getting pointed back for these lovely corrupted mobs. In places where we have already fought, so chances of summoning demons here definitely present.
Chaos Orb.
But for now, we'll settle for a Chaos Orb instead of actual Chaos Demons. It's the pity price. But a price nonetheless. Okay. Any more of those wonderful bottles? Well, we found corrupted mobs, that's also fine for me. There we are. That direction. Cool. So, not here, but there. Straight ahead. Wonderful. Not too much backtracking, that's always wonderful. I think I heard something squeak. Ah, there we are. Oh. Just thinking back a bit to the Agostina Solaria fight. Trying to stand and fight there might not have been the best idea. Maybe just pulling back like I did with the others, but she was less inclined to follow, but that was of course because I did keep casting skeletons at her. If I'd stopped that, then that might have helped. And of course, once I did start to get hit, my reflexes were less than stellar. But the fight was over there on the map, so getting close to it. So let's do this again. Also, just as a thing against having to walk back too much, let's just put up a portal here. Hello. Here. Okay, wonderful. Just draw you out. Of course, the thing about not standing still in one place too much, that's definitely a trick, or a technique I should say, that I'm not actually all that practiced at, and this is a decent opportunity to practice it. Because I very often fall back to my pattern of just standing still and casting. And as long as I'm overpowering things, I can get away with it. Thing is, if then suddenly the difficulty spikes and I can't get away with it, then of course the defaults don't really help. This is very nice though. Twin map, 8 mods, Precinct with a bonus objective. So Precinct has now been unlocked. So that's nice. I mean, the bottom side of the atlas is definitely what I want to focus on. Of course, eventually I want to try and see to do a full clear of everything. That seems nice. At least clear as much as possible. Well, as I mentioned in when replying to a comment of someone the other day, this league, playing on standard, having gotten this far, and having 4 months for the entire league rather than the usual 3. There's definitely, if there's ever going to be a league where, I'm going to be able to make it as far as the Guardians and maybe even have a chance at trying to do Shaper, not even saying to beat him, but just trying to do it. And this league is probably going to be it. Since it's a fair amount of work, just grinding through the maps, building up the mapping pool, and especially trying to get into red maps. They drop even less than the lower tiers. So yeah, I'll be taking my time for this. And for almost a week now, you might have noticed that now I've done some of the tier 9 and tier 10 maps rather than proceeding to red maps like I have in this video. The reason for that is simply because I haven't really had all that many red maps drop. You can't do videos if you don't have the maps, of course. So the progression from now on might be a bit slower than normal. And folks have been asking whether I was gonna do another series, and my thought has been simply to focus on this series until it's done. But if part of it is simply just having to do lots of maps until I get the maps I want to run for the video, then maybe doing another series for just leveling purposes while I keep focusing on this one for the maps might be useful. And then just whenever I find another map that is worth doing, then I'll do a video for this and I can just alternate to series. Might be an option. Okay. Did I pick up the... Yeah, I picked it up. One of the downside, once I start talking, I have a bit of a habit of just playing on autopilot sometimes. Picking up loot is, of course, second nature. I don't even have to think about it, I just do it. Okay, definitely some Fiji fanatics here. Would be wonderful to actually find the big man himself. Precinct is a decent map for it. Yeah. But I'm afraid I might have to be a little bit more reckless and just try to herd some of the enemies together. If only they want to. Okay, there's a small pack here. I think there was some beetles back there. Yes, exactly. Let's see if we can make them meet here. Doubt that's gonna be enough, but don't win if you don't try. Exactly. Wasn't enough. The downside of the... Ooh, wow. Wow, that's a lot of them.
Of immense power.
It's a random chance, so some of them, they just don't drop any demon orb things at all. And others, they just one pack gets you a greater demon in your face. Definitely one of those things that does keep you on your toes. Wonder if the little spawnings from the Queen's account, but unfortunately we are out of enemies, and if you're out of enemies then you can't summon any more demons. But there you have it, our very first tier 8 map, or tier 11 map with 8 mods, twin bosses, just the whole shebang. It was interesting. Too bad I died once, but it just reinforces that I need to start playing more cautiously, and even when I am, I need to move more. Because that, well, you can power your way through white maps, yellow maps to a pretty high degree, unless you get some yellow maps with some really gnarly mods, where the bosses are just gonna out DPS you or just pin you in place. But that is one of the things now, the monster damage, it kind of scales exponentially, and in red maps that's where you start feeling how much bosses can hurt. So yeah, be careful, especially if you're playing this on hardcore. But with that, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.